Check, 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 check. That's working. Forgot my mat. I don't feel like running back down there. We're gonna use this one. We're gonna use the Mitch match blocks. Let's go with the whole thing. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I know. Gotta mix it up sometimes. I'm proud of you. I'm so symmetrical. Like normally that drives me crazy, but right now I just gotta. I'm just gonna have to use it.
I almost can't look at it.
It's brutal. Listen, I don't want to, I'm going to blame y'all now, okay? I'll just get the other block for you now, okay? How's this? All right. How's that? Better? All right. Let's do this. Let's get this forest out of my face a little bit. So what's going on? Anything you want to do? Any postures or body parts? Hmm? Okay. Anyone else? All right. Sciatica, like, will originate in your low back, so in your lumbar spine. So we'll play a little bit of that oscillating cat-cow that I do with y'all. That's kind of like some sneaky therapeutics that I throw in, that oscillating cat-cow, and that'll help clear out some of that from that lumbar. Really what tends to happen when it goes down the back of the leg is the muscle and the nerve going through the same space, and it swells up and it squeezes on it, and that's why you try to like relax that to release some of that pressure, right? So we'll try to get into some of that. That would be some hamstring. We'll try some hamstring openers, but it's going to be super important to keep those hamstrings engaged, right? I talk about that all the time, and most of y'all know I don't do a lot of hamstring openers with y'all because most of us need our back body engaged, right? So like if you do forward fold and this is your forward fold, your hamstrings aren't tight. If this is your forward fold, your hamstrings aren't tight. If this is your forward fold, your hamstrings are tight, right? So this would be a different story, but that's none of you in here. None of y'all look like that when you do your fold, all right? So that means for most of us, human movement-wise, we're gonna have to engage that space to keep it safe, because what's gonna happen is gonna pull your sit bones down, right? And then when your sit bones pull down, your belly button can draw in, and then your pelvis can go neutral, right? Instead of anterior pelvic or tilt or posterior, right? We want to be nice and straight up. Ready? We'll give it a try. So, take a nice seat. We'll do our Om. Y'all know what's after that. So take a nice seat, sit up tall. Lean back a little bit. Take a couple breaths. We're here with our Kula, our yoga family. We're in this safe space with people that support us. That helps us now bring out our best self. Or in yoga, you hear a lot your authentic self. And that's one thing we do for each other. When you come here, you know you can be yourself. Every part about you. Do we try to bring out the best in each other? Of course. But support doesn't mean just in the good times, right? Support means through all the times. It's a special place that you all create here, because you are willing to come here and work for each other. And now more than ever, that's a special thing. Let's start with our breaths. So we can sit here and our breaths are going to start to come together. You'll see that when we start to move, right, shortly. We're going to be a little bit different, but pretty much the same. We're going to flow together. We're going to push ourselves challenge ourselves, and we're going to work hard together. Start here at your breath. It's not easy to refine your breath. You don't have to think about it. So to think about it is a challenge. But go slow. Just listen to yourself breathe. Then work those little refinements of slowing down the beginning of the inhale and pushing more on the end of the exhale, or counting out the breath, or finding ujjayi, wherever it is that you want to settle into. Next inhale, let the arms lift. The exhale, bring the fingertips and the knuckle pads to root as the heels of the hands lightly touch. And the breath now goes to that space between our palms. And one time together to initiate our practice. Together, the sound of Om. All together, deep breath in. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Suzanne. Happy birthday to you. All right, all fours, hands, and knees. I bet you didn't know you were walking into that this morning, did you? We find you even in the back. All right, so set this up. Nice and strong, all fours. Pointer finger straight forward or turned out, fingers spread, toes curled. Now find that low mountain, right? Y'all know this seems like it could be a hangout pose. It's not. Like you should be full on right now. You're clawing the floor, you're hugging your hands in, and when you hug your hands in, your forearms start to ignite, your biceps are starting to kick on, your triceps are firing up, like all the muscles in the arms. Settle the upper back a little bit, like this is too much. We're not trying to like collapse between our shoulder blades. Just like this is too much, right? Find where that sweet spot is. Slide the throat back. Bring your chin to your chest just a little bit so your gaze is right across your fingertips. Now, as you sweep those inner heels out, that's what shoots the energy to here, glute med and piriformis, right? As you sweep your heels out. Then you're going to hug your shins in, pull the inner thighs, the energy up the inner thighs. Pull your heels to your butt. There's those hamstrings. And now just breathe. Feel these side bodies starting to lengthen and open up. Feel the space between the ribs starting to expand. And then when you're ready, work your oscillating cat-cow. So you're going to take the hips up, back, and around. Forward, down, and under. Up, back, and around. You could even look up. Forward, back, and under. So it's the inhale as they go up and back. And the exhale as they go forward and under. Now work with your breath. Let's get 5 each way. So what we're doing is we're taking the vertebrae through their full range of motion here. And then after your 5, come to a neutral position, take a breath, and then work 5 the other way. Trying to hit the root of this sciatica. And go nice and slow here, staying with the breath. Now, this is my last one. I'm going to come back to that neutral position. Take your time. When you're ready, come back to that. All fours. This is the action of pulling your heels to your butt. It would be like I'm trying to do this, right? Like I'm pulling this way, but I'm just going to do it isometrically, so without movement. So I pull this way. And you can see the backs of my legs are all fired up here. That's what we want. Keep that. Now take the knees back a couple inches, come to puppy dog. Keep your arms lifting up, keep your inner biceps, right? Keep those from falling to the floor. Slide the head and the throat off the mat, pull the belly in, pull the shutters closed. Now keep the power in the arms. You're still holding the power in the legs and the hips, but now soften the chest towards the mat a little bit. This would be the same action like when we're in downward dog, we take our chest towards our toenails. Well, here, because of the position we're in, it'd be like softening to the floor. But you could feel as you go back, you're almost going towards like your knees.
And there's that opener that we want. We don't want to collapse, right? We don't want to lose any of this. And then TP the fingers on the right hand, thread the left hand underneath. We'll take this little twist. Keep that right arm lifting up, maybe even take the elbow to the sky. Maybe start to peek under a little bit. And then inhale, come back to center. Soften down the middle. And then TP the fingers on your left hand. Thread the right hand underneath. Keep those hips nice and fiery for the stability. Keep breathing forward out of your spine for the length. And then open the chest towards the sky to deepen the twist. Next inhale, come back to center. Soften down the middle. Next inhale, come up, all fours, hands and knees. Find that low mountain. And then when you're ready, tiger pose. Inhale is going to take the heel to the sky as you look up. Exhale is going to bring the knee to the chin or the chest. Inhale is going to take the heel to the sky. Exhale is going to bring the knee to the chin or the chest. Let's do 5 on each side. See, I'm like holding the ceiling up here with my heel. Let your knee like just scrape your mat as you come through. Now, this is my 5th one. When you're done with your 5th, lower the knee down, but make sure your hips width apart. The common tendency is going to be to go to the midline. Don't let that happen. Then when you're ready, take that left heel to the sky or your side too. Bring the knee to the chin or the chest. All right, working through the hip here. Flexion is where we're going to bring the knee to the chin or the chest. Extension is where we're going to take the heel to the sky. And we get that nice little undulation through the spine again as well. Now, this is my 5th one. When you're done with yours, we'll meet back in that all fours. Yeah, nice, y'all. And then from the all fours, take a breath, step back to plank. And then back to downward dog. I never used these sticky mats. These are nice. Wow. It's like a whole different game than a Manduka. Now, make sure those hands are still set. Make sure those forearms and those inner biceps are still lifting up. Slide the back of your throat towards like the front of the room. Belly's a spine, shutters are closed. You don't have to straighten your legs here. You can keep your knees bent. But just like we talked about before now, as the arms lift up, take the chest back towards like your toenails. And there's that opener we were finding before in puppy dog, just a little deeper. Then if you want to straighten the legs, engage them, right? So sweeping heels out, hugging shins in, pulling heels to butt, kneecaps to waist. Then maybe start to straighten the legs just a little bit. And then inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, back to downward dog. Come forward to plank. Back to downward dog. Let's do 5. Take your time. We do this a lot, right? We start to move a little more dynamically now. Do the arms and do the shoulders and the chest and the upper back. In the hips, we're going from flexion in downward dog to extension in plank. Now, this is my last one. When you're ready, come forward to in your plank, then lower chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, baby cobra. Take 3 nice breaths. Those shoulders go back and down. Then after your 3 breaths, lower the chest, push up through plank, and back to downward dog. Keep pushing those hands down and forward. Take the chest back towards the toenails a little bit. Keep the legs engaged. Maybe start to reach from the hips, down the back of the legs, and out of the bottom of the heels. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, baby cobra. Take the 3 breaths. Let the back of the heart come forward out of the front of the chest. After your 3 breaths, lower the chest or back to chaturanga, push up through plank, back to downward dog. Reach the right leg straight back, step it through, lunge. That's it, nice and high in your fingertips of your blocks. Find that space that you need. Keep pushing down and keep hugging in. So the hug in is front to back, is front heel back, back toes forward. The side to side is like shins hugging into the midline. Square that left hip forward a little bit. Pull up from that pelvic floor. Pull it up to your belly. Shudders. Heart's reaching out front, throat's back. Gaze looking out front of you, reach up through the crown of the head. Inhale, come up, Virabhadrasana, 1 crescent. Pull the belly in, pull the shutters closed and reach up. Yeah, now maybe curl back into this pose. 1 more breath. Exhale the hands down, keep the left hand down, draw the right elbow back. Take a twist here. Keep that right thigh lifting up. Left thigh lifting up, right thigh softening down. Left shoulder rooting back. So keep turning your bicep forward. Maybe look up that right arm. Inhale, come back to center. Place the hands down. Step back. Downward dog. Work through 1 vinyasa. Stay with your breath. Reach the left leg straight back. Step it through, lunge. We worked on that. We were talking about that last week, hugging that knee to the chest, right? To start to engage those hip flexors. And as we're pushing down, we're lifting up, right? The more I push down, the more I come up. Keep that. The more I hug in, the more I integrate, right? The more friends I get in the game. I'm pulling all that muscle energy in. Chakras are from root chakra right up the crown. And then when you're ready, Virabhadrasana, 1 crescent. Yeah, keep that knee right on top of the ankle, right in line with that second toe. Keep that right hip coming forward. Yep. Hug like a beach ball between your forearms. Reach up through your thumbs. Yep, now maybe curl back just that little bit. 1 more breath. Control it as you exhale the hands down to the floor. This time the right hand stays down. The left elbow starts to draw back as we reach up to the sky. Spinning that right shoulder back. It wants to turn in. Don't let it. Spin it back. And you could open up the left side of the chest even a little bit more. And then you even play with the balance by looking up. And then inhale, come back to center. Place the hand down. Step back, downward dog. Move through 1 vinyasa. Look forward. Bend your knees. Step or jump between your hands. Swing your arms up. Take a nice big reach. Maybe curl back into it a little bit. Let that inhale come up. Exhale, fold, forward fold. So see how I'm stacking everything up? In a hip hinge, this happens. Your butt does go below your heels because you're working dynamically. You might be having some kind of action that's going to require a little more stability, all right, because you're putting more power into it. But in forward fold, we're trying to stack it all up. The outside of my hip with this little bump on the outside of your knee and this little bump on the outside of your ankle. Lateral condyle, lateral mediali. That's the line up here. So you'll see if I'm too far forward, my heels get light, right? Just like if I go too far back, my balls and my feet get light. So I want to find where that spot's going to be. When I balance my feet, I'm going to be really close to balancing my hip, right? It's all going to come together. So feel from your feet. Now keep the engagement, look forward. And I take my fingers like I'm doing this, like I'm dragging them back to my feet. And it's going to pull my spine forward. Now maybe you go a little deeper into the pose as you fold. But the hamstrings have to stay engaged because they're anchoring the sit bones down here. We don't want the sit bones going up to the sky, otherwise it's going to stress those attachments. You could do that again. You can inhale, look forward. You charge the legs, you drag the fingers back to you. You feel the spine pull forward, and then you go ahead and dive into pose. Sit back as the knees bend, swing the arms up, take that nice big reach. Maybe curl back, feel that peel come right up the belly, up the chest and the neck, up the arms and up and out of the fingers and the crown of the head. Inhale, come up. Exhale, your hands in front. Bring your right arm in front, plug it in. Just go across the body with it a little bit. Let the left hand come up to meet it. Just a nice little light shoulder open here on the outside of that delt. Yeah, don't let that arm come out. This wants to happen. Stay plugged. Exhale, release. Arm in front, plug in.
Just across the body.
The rest of you, full on Tadasana. Do I look like I'm hanging out? No. Right? Mountain pose. Every muscle should be starting to quiver a little bit. That's how long we've been holding. Exhale, release. Sit back as the knees bend, swing the arms up. Sit back chair. Pull the bellies in. Pull the shutters closed. You feel how your legs feel right now? This is how they should feel in Tadasana when you're standing up straight. That's how much power. Sit back deeper. It's easy to hang out in some of these moments. Don't let it happen. Pull in, lift, sit back deeper. Charge the legs. Yep, pull your belly, pull your shutters, lift your arms. Sit back deeper. Nice. Push down, rise up. That's the power. Let's try it. Exhale, hands out to the side. Mountain pose. Full on, right? You feel that? That's how much energy you got to pull in. See, before though, it was a little different because there's a movement in it, right? There's no movement here. It's just isometric engagement, hugging the muscle to bone. Nice, y'all. Sit back as the knees bend, swing the arms up. Same thing, hold that. Now curl back. See, it's that Tadasana that lets you curl back, that lets you look up to the sky and still have your balance. You feel safe, you feel secure. Inhale, come up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Take the right hand outside the left calf for the twist. Fingertips, block, hip. We've done some twists so far, so some of you are going to want to reach up like this. Feel free to extend that arm up to the sky so you flip the back of your hand to the outside of your left foot, and then your left hand reaches to the sky. Inhale, come back to center, soften down the middle. Swap side too. So I take my left hand and I turn the back of my hand to the outside of my ankle, and then I reach that right arm up to the sky. Now keep the stack here. So feel it from your feet. Feel it up the legs. Feel the spine lengthening and twisting as maybe you look up. Inhale, come back to center. Nice, y'all. Next inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, place the hands, step or jump back, downward dog. Move through your vinyasa 3 times. So start to flow a little bit. Take your time. Stay with your breath. After your 3, we'll meet back in downward dog. Reach the right leg straight back. Step it through, lunge. We're going to go to wide-legged forward fold. So you're going to walk your hands to the inside of your right foot, spin your toes down and your back heel. Yep, we're facing that wall with the windows and the door. Now, have your feet parallel or even turned in a little bit. See how I'm kind of like initiating, pulling my big toe mounts in? Because I know they're going to want to do this. So if I bring them just a little bit into like the inward rotation, I'll be able to hold that space a little easier. Now find the balance, because you don't want your butt back too far, just like you don't want to be too far forward. Now inhale, look forward, come to half fold. Yep. Now keep the legs nice and charged. As you fold, hinge at your hip crease. Don't let your belly go yet. Then when you get really far and you can't feel that hip crease going any deeper, then go ahead and let the upper back go. You can even walk your hands back. You turn your fingers so they're facing the brick wall, and you try to get the heels of your hands in line with the heels of your feet. Now, wherever that takes you. Now, when you claw the floor, like look forward and drag your fingers towards you, and you're going to feel like you're pulling your spine out in front of you. Now go ahead and fold even deeper in the pose. Nice, y'all. Next inhale, look forward. Walk the hands towards that right foot. Spin the toes forward and the back heel up. Downward dog. Reach the left leg straight back. Step it through. Lunge. Side two. So walk your hands towards the inside of that left foot. Spin the right heel down. Now you're facing the brick wall. Yup. Now keep that energy in the legs. Be careful not to hyperextend the knees. So little micro bend here. Pull your kneecaps towards your waist instead of trying to push them to the wall behind you. Look forward. Drag those fingers back to you and go ahead and fold. Now, if you want to stay there, stay there. You want to take the hands back, take the hands back. You want to play a little more muscle energy, interlace the hands behind your back. Then look forward, right? Get that spine again, and then fold. Maybe start to reach the arms up overhead. Couple more breaths. Keep the power in the legs. Keep working that upper back, and then going deeper in the fold, maybe deeper in reaching the arms overhead. And then exhale the hands down if they're there. Look forward. Walk the hands towards that left foot. Spin the toes forward and the back heel up. Downward dog. Work through one vinyasa. Nice, y'all. Look forward, bend your knees, step or jump between your hands, swing your arms up, take a nice big reach. Maybe curl back that little bit. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands in front. Right leg forward, left leg back, triangle. I played with a little half moon with y'all the other day. Let's try it again today, right? Let's see if we could build on it. So keep your block handy. When you do go into half moon pose, the block is going to be out in front of you, however long it is from your hip to your armpit. Right? I just want my arm out like this, so I need this distance. I'm going to be like this. So see if I'm in here, see how I'm shorter than this space? If I'm out here, see how I'm longer than this space? I just want to be side body and my arm out to the side. All right, so keep your block handy if you're going to use it. Triangle, find that distance. We usually go short, so right, bend into that warrior two if you're not sure. Keep that left thigh back, take the arms up. Yep, get nice and tall. When you're ready, hinge at that right side of the hip, bring the hand down to the block or the floor. Inside the foot or outside the foot, doesn't matter, it's wherever you want to play. Now, don't let the side crescent happen, so keep opening up that right side body and squeezing that left side body to get that to happen. Keep your left ear reaching up towards the sky, maybe even look up the arm. Yep, belly in, shutters closed, start to rotate open. Yes. One more breath. Inhale, come up. Bend into that lead knee, warrior two. Elbow to the thigh. Sweep the bicep up along the cheek. Extended side angle. If the hand goes down to the block or the floor, go for it. Again, inside or outside the foot. Keep lengthening that right sit bone towards that right heel to open the knee, or sweep the heel to the wall with the window and the doors. Go back to the core, and then start to rotate open, just like before. Now push into that front heel. Inhale, come up tall, warrior two. Push the front leg straight. Get nice and tall. Hinge in the triangle. Bring the left, keep hugging your feet into one another to keep your hips from popping. Bring your left hand to your hip. Bend your right knee. You could either kick up from here or drag that back foot as you come up in the half moon pose. Keep your left heel reaching back so your right heel is nice and heavy. Keep lengthening the sit bone of the heel to keep taking that left hip back towards the brick wall. Maybe take the arm up to the sky, maybe look up. One more breath. Now scissor the legs, float back. Yep. Bend the front knee, step forward. Take a couple breaths. Nice, y'all. That was a lot. And then exhale, release. Swap side two, triangle. Right? Play around with it. I lost my balance there, right? What did I do? Didn't even miss a beat. Right? Let's go again, right? That's all it is. Don't get yourself worked up on any of these. Just play, right? Just mess around here. All right, when you're ready, take the thigh back, take the arms up. Yep, when you feel you're nice and tall and lifted up out of the waist, then hinge at the hip. Keep reaching forward here. Yeah, keep hugging your feet together like you're dragging front heel back, back toes forward, or back arch forward, really. Now start to play with the pose a little bit. Yeah. Happens to me too, that little like clunk in your hips. We're trying to keep that from happening. That's why I've been trying to cue y'all with that hugging the feet in. It's easy to splay out here in triangle. Keep hugging in. One more breath. Maybe look up. Inhale, come up nice and tall. Bend into that lead knee, warrior two, and the elbow goes right to the thigh. And then the arm sweeps. So like I kind of flowed mine. If you need to stop, stop and plug it in. If you're flowing it together, flow it together. It's not one's better than the other, right? Now pull those belly buttons in. Yeah, that's gonna feel the hip flexor. Now lengthen the sit bone of the heel. There's the adductors. And then we maybe play as we rotate a little bit. We look up, we already start to challenge the balance here. Then push into that front heel. Inhale, come up, warrior two. Then push the front leg straight, keep that hip back. Get tall, hinge, triangle. Right hand to right hip. Bend the left knee, kick up, Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Make sure the toes can move on your left foot. You're using them to hold the floor, but they shouldn't be gripping. They should just be neutral. Maybe the arm comes up. Now kick that right leg forward, so if you look down your leg, you can see your toes. Yes, maybe even look up. One more breath. Now scissor the legs together, float back. Yep, bend into the lead knee, step forward. Let the hands meet, flick the heart out, let your eyes close. Mountain pose, but just a chill little variation here. Full breath in, complete breath out. And then gently open the eyes, release the hands. Nice, y'all. Sit back as the knees bend, swing the arms up. Maybe curl back. Inhale, come up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, place the hands, step or jump back, downward dog. Move through 3 vinyasas. Flow through again a little bit. Take your time, stay with your breath. After your 3, we'll meet back in downward dog. And then exhale, lower your knees. Just take a quick break, grab a drink, wipe your face off, whatever feels good. Okay, from your all fours, take your right leg, cross it over your left, take your feet apart, and sit back between your heels. We'll start getting in the back of the hip here. Pull that left sit bone back and out, the bottom leg. Then pull the top sit bone back and out. And you should feel like your sit bones, specifically the right one, got a little closer to the floor. Now, some of us might just want to stay here and take the little hinge. I didn't do this warm-up with you today, which we usually do, but if you want to go to Gomukhasana, you certainly can, okay? If you want to stay here, we're just hinging at the hip a little bit. This is like Longhorn, all right? It's kind of the play here without the arms. Yep, feel free. If you're doing the arms, it's your left arm goes this way. Your right arm goes this way. Yeah. You want to be opposite elbow to opposite knee that's up to the sky. You'll feel if it was the other way, you'd want to tip over to the one side, right? Because there's no rebound in. And then inhale, come up, unwind that top legs, release the arms if you're there. Yep, we'll meet back in this all fours, take a breath or two, and then we'll swap side two. Yep, play wherever feels good to you. Take the feet wide and then sit back between the heels. This time you pull the right back, or whatever your bottom is, and then the left, back and out. And then sit up nice and tall. Yeah. And then if you want to go into the hinge to deepen the stretch a little bit, chest leads the parade, not the chin. So think of those opposing forces. I'm sliding my throat back as my chest is coming forward. That's work right there. And then we're all here. Outside the hips, coming down the leg a little bit. Couple more breaths. In your hip crease, it might just be like cramping. Inhale, come up, unwind, because it's like super short. And you're in adduction, so it's squeezing too. So talk about getting a feeling here, right? Think about what's kind of happening here. You're like this, and you're like this. So there's a lot of like closed here. Right, there's not really any open. What's the open? Back here. So you probably feel maybe some congestion or something in there. Muscles only cramp when they're short. They never cramp when they're long, right? So when this is short, the muscle might want to like kink up a little bit on you. All fours, just reach the one leg out, then the second. Then lower it down. Take a breath. And take the feet wide. Walk your hands back. Come to squat pose. Hug in, then push out. Drive the elbows down to sit up nice and tall. Yep. And now breathe. Keep lifting the arches up. They're going to try to do this. So right away when you push the knees out, feel how you're going to get a little heavier on the outer edge of the foot. Keep the big toe mound down, but feel the outside of the foot root. Now feel the spine, keep lifting up. Yep. Now stay here if you want to stay here. You want to work crow. You're lifting your hips. You're placing your hands down. Your knees are on the outside of your arms right now, so you can stack them on the back of your arms, give you a little more support. Or you can stay on the outside. You're going to walk your feet together so your big toe mounts touch, and you're going to look forward. And then I'm going to start bringing the weight forward. And as I come forward, my feet are going to start to get light. When that happens, they're going to start to float. I pull my heels up to my butt. Crow. And I try to push my arms straight. Keep pushing down. Nice, y'all. Yeah. Awesome. And then when you're ready, lower down. We'll meet all fours. Take a breath here. Step back to plank. All right, shoulders are stacking up on top of the wrist crease, and we're reaching up out of our heels. Settle the upper back. Don't collapse it. Don't round it. Just find where that sweet spot is. Slide the throat back so your chin isn't falling to the floor. Maybe lift the right leg up. Keep reaching out of the heel. Take it out to the outside of your mat, the right side. Touch the toe. Back up, back in and down. Take a breath. Maybe the left heel comes up. We take a few breaths here. We're supporting ourselves. We're feeling how we could hold that left hip up even though the leg's up. Then maybe the leg goes out to the side. We touch the toe. We challenge it even a little bit more. Maybe we lower that left foot down. We keep breathing here. These look awesome. And then when you're ready, slowly lower to your bellies. And then take the right hand underneath you, bend the left knee, reach back. Grab that ankle, the foot of the strap. Bring the belly button to the spine and the pubic bone to the mat. Then start to draw the heel to the sit bone. If you're feeling this in your low back, bring your forehead to your forearm. So you look like this. And keep working that neutral pelvis. Belly button to spine, pubic bone to the mat. That was that neutral tilt we were talking about right in the beginning. Watch the boing as you release. Swap side two. Before you pull the heel too far to your butt, neutralize your pelvis. Belly to spine, pubic bone to the mat, or back of the pelvis would be like sit bones to the backs of your knees, and then the heel starts to draw towards that sit bone. And we breathe. One more breath. And watch the boing as you release. Place the hands middle of your chest. Take the shoulders back. Curl the toes. Belly's in. Shutters closed. Push up chaturanga. Take a breath. Push up plank. Take a breath. Push back downward dog. Nice, y'all. Look forward. Bend your knees. Step or jump between your hands. Swing your arms up. Take a big reach. Curl back. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands in front. All right, grab your mats, find a spot on the wall. I'm gonna go upside down. Use it all up. Go wherever feels good to you. If you're at home, you don't have the wall to kick up on, you can always lay on your back. Knees bent. Interlace your hands behind your thighs. You reach the heel to the sky. Take a bunch of breaths. And we'll swap side two. And then whether you're at home or in the studio, if it's not your day to invert, you're welcome to go legs up the wall or do a pose that feels good to you. Okay? I'll talk everyone through downward dog and L pose. You can work your handstands or your headstands, your tripods, anything you want to play with. You can work on your own. Feel free. You could do wide-legged forward fold to tripod, okay? If you want to work your way up from something that we've kind of played with today, you could work your wide-legged fold up, okay? So play wherever feels good to you. So if you're going to stick with me, all fours, hands and knees, feet are touching the wall. If you're going to go on your own, whenever you're ready, okay?
So with me, all fours, take a couple breaths. When you're ready, lift the knees and the hips. When you feel good, step one foot up the wall, then the second foot up the wall. And then with your knees bent, you'd be in downward dog inverted. And with your legs straight, you'd be in L pose. So Jen, bring that right leg up. Kick that right heel to the sky. The right, yeah, now right one. Yes, that was it right there. You feel how you went up? Yeah. You just got to be ready for it, right? Because it's going to happen. Yeah. Nice, y'all. And then the wide-legged fold would be like, you know, I start here in my wide-legged fold, and then I bring my hands down here, right? And I come to tripod, and then I kick up from here. Little variation on going up, right, that you could play with, because some shapes that we made today. Nice, y'all. Awesome. About another 30 seconds or so. Yeah. Awesome. Nice, crew. All right, when you're ready, we'll meet on our backs. Okay, take your time. And we'll get into the back of the hip one more time and the back of the leg one more time while we're down. Let's get our back bend in, and then we can work the back of the legs one more time here. So let's start on our backs. Knees are bent, supported bridge, right? Always there. You could take the block underneath the sacrum. I'll talk you first into bridge and then into wheel. So we're going to start on our backs. Our knees are bent, feet are on the floor, and we could feel our heels with our fingertips. That's to just help us measure. Head and the shoulders back. We take a couple breaths. We could even bend our elbows here, come into robot. Now charge the legs, fire up the core, and when you're ready, slowly lift the hips. If you want to interlace your hands behind your back, you certainly can, right? You want to wiggle your shoulders under a little deeper. Gently push your head back into the mat. Now keep the power in the legs. Stay with the belly, stay with the shutters. Gently push the feet down and forward, and you'll feel the back bend happening even deeper underneath your shoulder blades. One more breath. Stay engaged as you lower down. Sacrum lands flat. Feet wide, knees touch. One hand to your heart, one hand to your low belly. Now on the second one, I'll talk you first into bridge and then into wheel. Inhale, open the knees, reset the feet, bring the arms along the sides. Get the foundation set. Start to engage. When you're ready, slowly lift the hips. If you're going to wiggle the shoulders under, you're going to interlace the fingers wherever feels good to you. If you're going to go wheel, place your hands wide and feel your pinkies at least touch the floor. So your hands are to the edge of your mat. And you're going to plug those shoulders back, keeping the power in your legs and that connection in your core.
When you're ready, push up. Maybe pump your heart towards that wall you're looking at. Feel those shoulders slide on your back. One more breath. And then stay engaged as you lower down. Take the feet wide. Let the knees touch. If your right hand was on your heart, left hand on your heart, and let that opposite hand be on your belly. And then open the knees and windshield wiper side to side. Next time your knees fall to the right, just let them settle there. Take your hands to cactus. Nice little open twist. Belly's in, shutters are closed. This being an open twist, as if our legs were crossed, we'd be a little more of a closed twist. Inhale, come back to center. Let the knees fall towards the left. Control them as they go down. Little bit of belly, little bit of shutters. Keep that rotation through the spine instead of that manipulation in the ribs that we talk about all the time. And then inhale, come back to center. Hug those knees into your chest. Then keeping your knees bent, lower your feet to the floor. Inhale your right leg up, open the hip, bring the ankle over the knee. Hug the left knee towards your chest. So we're in supine pigeon now. This is a good way to get into that glute med and piriformis. More therapeutic, since a lot of you are by the wall, you could scoot forward and put your left foot on the wall. And then you wouldn't have to hold your thigh, right? Because your foot would be on the wall like this. And you kind of persuade a little bit, all right? So find where what feels good to you. Now you want to get into those hamstrings again, reach the left heel to the sky. And you get into the back of the leg once more too. But keep that left leg working closer to your face and the right leg working further away from your face. If the leg's straight, bend the knee, lower it down, release the back of the thigh, unwind that right leg. Hips width apart. Then inhale the left up, open the hip, take the ankle over the knee, hug your right knee to your chest. Interlace your hands behind your leg. Or if you're at the wall, now your right foot's on the wall. And then this time, as the right knee works closer to your face, the left knee works further away. And we breathe. Active from our feet up our legs. Still some connection through the core. Head's lightly pushing back. And then if you're going to take the heel up to the sky, go for it. And bend the knee, lower the leg, release the back of the thigh, unwind that top leg, take the legs out straight, reach the arms up overhead. Take a nice big stretch. Spread your fingers, spread your toes, reach. Feel all that space we make. And hug your knees to your chest, take your knees wide. Come to happy baby. Keep that sacrum flat. Keep the knees wide, so they're wider than your shoulders. And then as your knees draw towards your ears, you're inside the thighs, you're in the back of the hip. And then if you want to go to the back of the legs, you straighten your legs. And when you're ready, inhale the knees to center, exhale the legs out straight. We'll take Shavasana. A beautiful practice, crew. Feel free to add or remove layers or props. I'm going to talk everyone through laying flat, but you're more than welcome to do a variation if you like. And here as we lay back, we let our legs stretch out and our feet gently roll open. We let our arms come along the sides. We let our shoulders settle back. Let our head rest back. Maybe our eyes close.
And the tongue softens from the roof of the mouth. It's here that we let our body get heavy. Just like we let our mind get light. So it turns back to the breath. And we let our heart open. As it collects the practice. It prepares to move us into the yoga of life. It will bring us back to the mat to practice again. Yoga teaches us that there's that connection between our heart, our mind, and our body, and how we bring balance to ourselves. Because our body, it wants to do nothing. Just like our mind wants to do everything. It's up to our heart to bring them together. Begin here to draw in a deeper breath. Feeling the breath washing over the body, fingers to toes, crown of the head to your heart. As we reawaken that better version of ourselves. The fingers and the toes wiggle. The arms and the legs stretch or reach. Move in a way that feels in this moment. You ready? Hug your knees to your chest and just roll to the right side. Push your hands down. Come up to a seated position. We'll meet together with our eyes closed and our hands in front of our hearts. And one more time to seal in our practice. Together, the sound of Om. All together, deep breath in. Beautiful. As we softly bow
Now, we'll head to our hearts. Our hearts to each other's hearts. For all of that hard work and that determination, that challenge.
the love and the support you always give each other, it's to you that I bow.
Namaste.
Thanks, crew.
We'll see everyone.
You know, if you have any questions, grab me before you leave. Something feels weird, definitely. Maybe I'll see some of y'all tomorrow or Saturday. If not, I'm sure I'll see you soon. Thanks, y'all. Home crew, you know, if you need me, hit me up. Thank you. Oh, you were good too. I went by and checked it all. Yeah. Nah, it was fine. I know, it was so like, it was just so windy. I mean, it was crazy windy.